How's it going, everyone? Adam Bongiovanni here, and I am here with Aimee Cabo, author of Love is the Answer, God is the Cure. Aimee, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
How are you doing? Having a good Monday?
I'm doing good, thanks. Thanks to God.
Sounds amazing. So, okay, let's jump right into things. So, if you can, please provide us just a little background information on Love is the Answer, God is the Cure, so people who are watching know the book if they haven't read it.
Well, it's basically a tragic, inspirational love story. It deals with years of childhood abuse in every form and fashion, and also instances of rape and domestic violence and physical violence and emotional abuse. It has a little bit of everything.
Wow.
And it also has a love story, and it's also inspirational.
Wow. Writing such a personal book, I feel like, can be an extremely daunting task because you're putting such personal things about you and your life and your history out into the world. What was the writing process like for you?
Well, I was told to write a book when I was 15 years old, when I was in a psychiatric hospital, when all the children were removed from my parents' house because we were being abused.
Wow.
And I was told to write a book. I thought I would. I just didn't know if I'd ever. And while I was praying a rosary, I got this really strong feeling that I should write this book now. So I would just get up at 3 o'clock in the morning every morning and type and type and type.
Wow.
And it's something I've never done before. It's something I've never had time to deal with because I've had to deal with so many other things. So I'm glad that I'm finally in a place of healing and a place where I can provide transparency for the sake of others, to see if others can see that if having God in their life can make a huge difference.
That's what I was actually just going to ask about next. So being dealt so many difficult hands while growing up and just living your life, how important has faith been to you to get you through it?
Well, it's been many times in my life, it's been the only thing I've had. I've been alone, and God really has been the center of my universe. And it isn't until I started praying all the time, every day, that my faith started growing stronger, and I felt closer to God, and my behaviors became better. I started thinking clearer. I started seeing things in a better light.
Wow. That's phenomenal, though, that you could find something like that and really just connect with it and use it to boost yourself forward no matter what hand you're dealt. And I'm sure that I've looked at your website, I've seen the reviews online, and I know there are people who are reading this book that are going through difficult times and they don't know what to do. So if there's someone out there watching this interview or contemplating reading your book, what would you say to them if they are going through such a difficult time?
The importance of unconditional love and forgiveness, not to lose faith, not to lose hope. Nothing lasts forever. God is always there for you. God does love us. We are all unique and capable of being loved. And just to abide by all the teachings of Jesus Christ. You know, put yourself in other people's shoes. Be more understanding. Try to be more forgiving. Just all the values that sometimes get lost in society with society growing so fast.
No, that makes amazing sense. Now, a question I have for you, and I'm sure some people struggle with this as well, when you're going through something so difficult and you're trying to move past it, do you feel like it's necessary to forgive the person or the people who caused you that pain? Because I'm sure that's a very difficult thing, but do you believe in order to move forward that you do need to forgive?
Yes, you do need to forgive. You do need to forgive and let go. It's not for us to judge. It's for God. And you just need to forgive and let go. I don't have an explanation for why my parents did what they did to me. But I do forgive them.
Wow.
And I do forgive all those who have hurt me, because that's what God asks of me, to be forgiving. Now, I don't want to know them, but I pray for them. I pray for all the sinners.
Oh. So you could separate the fact that you don't want them in your life, but you do forgive them. And
Yes.
that's an amazing quality, and I really do commend you for it, because there are a lot of people out there who definitely don't have the ability to forgive, and they hold on to resentment. And I'm sure it makes the healing process a little bit more difficult because they do hold on to that resentment. So I'm sure letting go of that really allows you to just propel yourself forward in life and realize, you know what, I'm ready to move on.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing to hear that coming from you. So, okay, when you're writing this book, like, what would you say was your main goal?
I wanted to help others. My main objective was, well, I thought it would be therapeutic, first of all, for me to write it all down, to actually come to terms with it. Before I would think, oh, it's no big deal, things happen, it's nothing. When I wrote it down, it hit home. It was really something that was something. And it was therapeutic for me. And I thought that if it was therapeutic for me, if others would read it, it would be therapeutic for them, that they know they're not alone.
Wow.
That they know that somebody can go through so many things, just still come out okay, still be loved, still be blessed.
That's such a phenomenal thing, though, because it's a therapeutic process for you as you're writing it. But for other people reading it, it's also a therapeutic process for them.
Yes.
The owner of onlinebookclub.org actually had a beautiful quote he put in the chat. He said, "Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned."
Yes. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah. You're exactly right. So, what does your family think of the book? Have your family members read it? Have your friends enjoyed the book as well, or is it kind of?
No, I don't really have a family.
Okay.
I think I speak to one or two sisters out of the 9 kids that we were.
Wow.
So I don't suppose they'll be very pleased.
That makes sense, though.
But there's a song that says, if I have to sacrifice myself for the greater good, so be it. Imagine Dragons sings that.
Yes.
I believe in that.
That's phenomenal. That's amazing, though. The fact that you're putting the greater good of the people who are going to read the book over yourself is really something I commend and look up to, and I thank you for that, because you're really putting the greater good into the world.
Well, I was discouraged from writing this book by my own sister, by people. I was actually denied by a publishing company. They said I was too high risk. They wouldn't publish my book. I had to become my own publisher, inspirational books, and self-publish, because I guess my story was too bad. I don't know. But I trust God. I do. I trust God. I know that I have enemies and they love to litigate, but then again, I trust God.
It feels like you knew that this was something that you had to put out there, because you knew it would not only help you move forward, but it also helps so many people who read this book. So it's not an easy process to achieve something like this, where you do end up publishing a book on your own. Self-publishing is not an easy thing to do. So congratulations on doing all of that, because not many people out there would have kept going after having been denied once, and having people they know in their life tell them they shouldn't do it. So good for you for really pushing forward and doing what you knew was right.
Thank you.
No problem. So are there any future plans, Aimee, for writing another book and putting something else out there?
Well, my daughter, who almost got killed by the roommate that she got from Craigslist, that was there for a week, that trial has not started yet.
Wow.
So let's see what happens with the trial. That may be the next book.
Wow. So I can't imagine the process of writing a book like that as well. But I'm sure writing Love is the Answer, God is the Cure, it has given you a ton of experience. So do you think if you did end up, after the trial, do you think if you did end up writing another book, that you'd be able to go into it using the experience that you learned from the first go-around?
Well, yes. I mean, I have to admit that I lost a little bit of my faith in the justice system. My stepmother never went to jail.
Wow.
The statute of limitations hasn't run out. Who knows who else he has abused? At least this will give, open people's eyes, and it'll warn them at least I can protect the next this way. There wasn't protection through the legal system. So let's see what happens with the guy that tried to kill my daughter, and see how that goes. And I'm praying and hoping that what should happen does.
I really wish you nothing but the best with that, and I'm sure everyone watching wishes that as well. If anyone wants to follow you or communicate with you, where could they find you?
I'm on Facebook, Aimee Cabo.
Okay.
And I'm also on Twitter, Amy for Trump.
Got it. Okay, great. So people could find you there. We'll link that when in our description. So Aimee, thank you so much for joining me today. Yes.
One more very important one. I have a website,
okay.
godisthecure.com, and that has all the reviews of the book. Every time I get a review, I post it on the website, godisthecure.com.
Got it. Perfect. No, so we'll link that as well. Aimee, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I wish you nothing but a great day.
Thank you.
No problem. Talk soon. Bye-bye. All right. So thank you guys for commenting and joining. I truly appreciate it. And Scott also linked the book in the chat. I read the book, but I'd like to. Sometimes I find it hard to forgive. Yeah, I talking to her and someone who's dealt with so much, because if you read the description of the book, guys, if you see what the book is about, not many people go through more tragic events than Aimee has. Like, it is a very, she's went through a lot, and her family has went through a ton. So for someone like her, who probably did harbor a lot of resentment, to be able to forgive says a lot about her, and it says a lot about us. Like, if I'm angry at something silly, right, like, and I'm angry at a friend or a family member for doing something silly, and then you see Aimee who's forgiven someone and people who've done way worse to her, it's like, it puts things into perspective, like, maybe I should be a little bit more forgiving. So I think one of my favorite things about doing these interviews, and this is the question I'd like to ask all of you, is you do interviews with people from all different walks of life, right? So this is not only an experience where I push these out into the world and hope that people can learn from them, I also take a lot from them. So talking to someone who has been through so much, it makes you kind of think about things in a different light. Now, a lot of people, and I know I've done this in the past as well, have seen books that are out of their comfort zone, right? They've seen books that are different, and they don't really go with what maybe they've read in the past. What I've recommended on this channel numerous times is to read outside your comfort zone. Take a book from a perspective of someone you might not come in contact with every day, someone you might not know, and you will learn so much from that book. So that's why I'm definitely going to check out. The only thing I keep messing up with the title. I sometimes say God is the answer, love is the cure. I keep switching those. Love is the answer, God is the cure by Aimee Cabo. Guys, read this book. I really think it could teach you a thing or two. And I feel like even if you're not religious and maybe you don't have a strong connection with God as Aimee does, I still feel like it's a book you should check out because you're learning something about someone from a different walk of life. So I would recommend to everyone. And I appreciate the nice comments in the chat. Charles said it sounds like a very like a book very worth reading, which is probably the best comment an author can get. Hey, I want to read your book. Let's see. Charles also, I'm going to read your comment as well. And then I know Chigozi, I think I pronounced that right, has a really long comment, which I want to get into as well. It can be really hard to even read a book that's got such a tragedy in it. I can't even imagine going through it myself and then having to relive it for so long writing it down. That's very awesome for her. That's what I was thinking. Like, when you're writing a book that's so personal, it's such a, and I mentioned this to her, it's such a daunting task. But I also think that maybe putting it out to the world, like she mentioned, is so therapeutic because you're saying, you know what, this is my story, I'm owning my story, this made me who I am. So it's so tough, but it also helps you learn and understand someone else's situation so much. So I guess it's, and I used to be afraid to read like sad books because I didn't want to get sad, but I feel like you need to extend your comfort zone a bit, and you should, to be able to learn a thing or two. So Shigozi said, I haven't read the book, but I'd like to. Sometimes I find it hard to forgive, but I'm determined to remove anything else that would hinder my relationship with God. I would celebrate the author for sharing something so personal. It is not easy to lay your life bare before millions. Thank you for sharing. God bless you. Wow, that's an extremely nice comment. I'm sure Aimee would appreciate that, Shigozi, and I appreciate you commenting that. Yeah, that's the good point. Literally closing the book on the event. Exactly. Like, by writing the book, you're closing the negativity from your past and you're moving forward. So I think we're gonna end with that. We're actually doing this thing, and I've spoken with Scott about this, and I have a bunch of these emails I've gotten from these bloggers and authors, where obviously we talk about books all the time. So the goal is to get people to pick up a book and read. Whether it's someone who reads books all the time, whether it's someone who's never read a book before. We want people to use our form to go find new books and pick up a book and read. So we're actually talking with a bunch of bloggers, authors, and influencers who are encouraging people to pick up a book and read, and we're going to share those videos as well. So we have a lot planned, a lot of interviews coming up as well. Our Instagram DMs are filled with people and where I'm communicating with, planning interviews. So it's going to be a busy fall, busy end of summer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, Aimee, for talking with me today. I truly appreciate that as well. If you want to get Love is the Answer, God is the Cure, the link is in the chat, but I'm going to post it in the description. I know Facebook Live is really weird when it comes to editing descriptions, so there's a chance I might have to post the whole description when I edit I have a video filming right now of the interview, when I edit that, but if not, it'll be in the description there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Actually, I'll see you on Thursday, because I've got a video coming out Thursday. That works. Bye, guys. Thank you.